What is going on, people? It says we're live now. You know how I do things around here when I do these live streams. Let me check my mobile device to make sure that we are live. That way we don't have any snafus or any complications or anything like that. And it says that we're live. I see all of our four beautiful, awesome faces. Yes, I do. Yeah. Oh, God. Welcome back.
Let me blow you a kiss, Leslie.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank y'all very much for being here for another edition of Collect All Monsters, a supplemental video. And you click the title, you know who we're covering here. Our first impressions of arguably the X Plus 2022 figure of the year, the X Plus Favorite Sculptors Line 30 centimeter Rick exclusive set of Godzilla versus Ebirah 1966 from the epic film. Yes, I said epic, because daggone it is epic. 1966 film, Godzilla, Ebirah, Monster of Big Duel in the South Seas, also known as Eberhard or the Deep, but we know it better here in the United States due to late night television. Godzilla versus the Sea Monster, as you can see here, the beautiful figure release is awesome. But I'm not here alone. I got three other special people who not only love this set, who is calling it figure of the year, but they also have the set and they are huge fans of the set and of the movie. So without further ado, let me do my Steve Harvey thing and introduce my first guest. His first time here on Collect All Monsters. You know him, you love him. He's been on YouTube going on 10 years now. Everett from GodzillaFanFreaks. What's going on, Everett? Welcome to
What's
Collect
up,
All
everybody?
Monsters.
I am really happy to be here on Collect All Monsters to talk about this awesome piece. Let me see if I can point my finger right. Mine is right up there on my shelf, next to the gigantic Mechagodzilla for scale. But no, I'm really happy to be here. I'm really excited to talk about this figure, talk a little bit about the movie. I got my Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. If you recognize that old VHS artwork, T-shirt,
got that.
Yep. I am ready for today's stream. So thank you for having me again. This is really an honor. So thank you.
No problem. Again, thank you for being here. And of course, you've seen this awesome gentleman on Collect All Monsters before. You saw him on our main show. You saw him recently on our Kaiju of the 60s supplemental video a couple of weeks ago. Yes, the newest addition to the awesome show, Monsters with Attitude, one of the masterminds behind Kaiju Ramen, that awesome fanzine, the one and the only West Virginia's finest, Michael Hamilton. How you doing, Michael?
Sir, it is West by God, Virginia. Thank you very much.
West Virginia.
But no, it is always a pleasure to be here and hang out with you, Leslie. We've gotten really close over the years, just sharing our passion for this hobby. Everett, it is good to meet you, sir,
Yes.
for the first time, and of course, well, there's Eric. But no, it's all good. It's all good. I've made out with Eric too, but no, this is gonna be a blast. I love this set. I got some strong words later on about this set, but we'll save that.
And last and certainly but not least, oh my God, an awesome collector, an awesome gentleman, one of the best YouTubers out there. He's coming strong with 250 subscribers and counting, from Bearded Kaiju Reviews, also a member of Monsters with Attitude, the one and the only Eric Stolp. First of all, Eric, thank you for being here. I know normally around this time of the evening, you'll be at your geriatric adult film industry side gig. So I want to thank you for taking some time away from the Golden Girls to come. I'm sorry.
The kids are going to be eating ramen for the rest of the week because I'm doing this. So, I got no income coming in tonight, but I am so happy to be here. I love this set. Like I said, I have already put my review out for this, so check it out. But yeah, this is my figure of the year. So yeah, I am excited to talk about this.
And of course, again, thank you to Everett, thank you to Michael, and thank you to Eric for being here. Before we go into the first topic, let me give a huge shout out to the chat. We got 21 people in here. Of course, first and foremost, my beautiful wife Sandra. What's up, babe?
Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Of course, you got Godzilla Train 1090. Hopefully, he's not butt naked under a Walmart bought Godzilla costume, but more. I'm sorry.
That's how he rolls.
Oh man, I love picking on that dude. he's like a little brother to me, so he knows it's all love. It's all love.
Yeah.
Of course, Liam Foley, Michael Hang, Bad Goji, Dominic Moza. What's up, man? Of course, Nathaniel Plummer, Fanciest of Cats. Richard Eso, Fresh Vinyl Reviews is up in here.
Rich
What's
is
going
here.
on? Marshall Mike. What is that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The bots got us. The bots got us.
Yeah, the bots almost got us. Yeah, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. We're married, so we ain't got time for that. He's butt naked at Target. So if you see a black dude on Cox tomorrow night, you know exactly who it is, buddy. Yeah. Seriously. Before we get into this awesome set, want to ask my co-hosts, just a couple questions before we get into it. Not gonna be up here that long. It's not gonna be like a long stream like we normally do, like 2 hours. We're gonna be in and out like an hour, but we have a lot to talk about in an hour. It's gonna go by just like that. But first and foremost, yesterday, Godzilla Day. What an awesome day it was. It was an amazing day with some shorts coming out, some news of a new film coming out, not to mention the collectibles and the potential collectibles. It's just a great time to be a Godzilla fan. And yesterday was a prime example of that, the perfect example of that. So basically, my first question is actually like a two-parter question. What did you do to celebrate Godzilla Day, and what were you most excited about Godzilla Day, as far as the short, like I said, news of the new movie, collectibles? What did you do to celebrate? And like I said, what were you most excited coming out of the day? Everett, yep, sir.
Well, over on my channel for Godzilla Day, it fell on, a weekend. So I did my Kaiju Chill O'Clock show. So it was, kind of a special day to run, had a lot of engagement, a lot of people. Unfortunately, it got taken down for whatever reason.
Oh,
they
no.
claimed it and blocked
Sorry
it. And
about
it
that,
was
buddy.
like, really?
Oh, dang.
So yeah, I've gotten copyright claims before, but this was the first time that it got copyright claimed and fully blocked. So I was like,
dang.
Great way to put a damper on everything, guys.
Toho.
But other than that, we still had an awesome time. Watched a few movies, watched the original, watched Shin Godzilla, and just engaged with the fans. And what I was looking forward to the most was I really enjoyed the Godzilla versus Gigan short film with the suits. I really enjoyed that one. I liked it a little bit more than the Gigan Rex one, but that's just me. And as far as like collectibles and stuff goes, there was like too much to count from all these different sites. Mondo had stuff going, Waxworks Records had stuff going. We have all these beautiful Bandais that are coming out. It's just so much in like one day. But I was able to nab a poster from Mondo, so I was really happy about that. And waiting for probably a couple more paychecks to come in. Then I'll probably pre-order some of those Bandais and whatnot. And then I picked up a couple extra shirts from Ghost X Ghost website that he had over there. He had some extra Hedra shirts that he had done. So picked up some of those. So yeah.
Sweet.
Everett, I have to ask, which poster did you pick up?
I picked up the Mechagodzilla 2 poster, and it was the Japanese variant.
Tom Whalen
with the purple.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. I got the green, the English version. I just like the colors on that one a little bit more than the Japanese version. I have a couple of other posters from Tom, and they're both like really purple heavy. So I wanted something a little bit more, something a little different. But I spent my Godzilla Day was kind of boring. It started super early the night before with Eric and the crew at Monsters with Attitude. We started the stream around 11 o'clock p.m. And then we were up till 4 a.m. Watching the stream. And I had to work the next day, so that was super fun. But like I said, I had to work, so I did have the vinyl records and things playing in the background while I was working and whatnot. And then I did make some time in the evening to sit back and watch Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from 1974. And then I streamed with a friend of mine, Nathan Marchand at the Monster Island Film Vault, for his Patreon account, just kind of recapping everything that happened on Godzilla Day. Just hung out, and pretty low key day. I was gonna go watch Godzilla X Mechagodzilla in the theaters, but I just couldn't get out of work in time to go watch it. So that was kind of a disappointment. But overall, all I got to say is Godzilla fans and kaiju fans in general, we ate really well yesterday between the new movie, the 2 short films, which I personally loved. Godzilla versus Gigan Rex. I thought that was super interesting, and kudos to Jim Stone and everything that they were able to do with that short film. I really hope that Toho continues to invest in fan originated content like that, because that was super interesting. And of course, the live action short from Toho was amazing. It's always good to see old fashioned tokusatsu on screen. So, but totally enjoyed it yesterday. Between some of the toy releases, we're getting a new gigantic 62 light up. I won't be picking it up, but I'm happy for the people that don't have that in their collection. And the new Bandais look great. A little disappointed that we didn't get that 30 centimeter gemstone Godzilla figure that we were hoping for, but maybe sometime down the road. But Eric.
Like you said, we were streaming late. What was it, Tuesday night into Wednesday? We weren't, it wasn't airing or anything like that. We were just hanging out, on stream and stuff like that. We were just chilling, and that was fun. Michael cashed in early, so he had to work and stuff. I fortunately took the day off so I could stay up a little bit longer. It was kind of all in vain. Nothing too crazy for the Godzilla Store TV stream. But on the plus side, me and Michael have talked about this. Basically, it helps our wallets. So we're not going to be, I'm not going to be picking up any of that stuff that they revealed. The only thing I did pick up was the Tom Whalen Mondo poster. Everything else, I'm just not interested. I probably will get the Godzilla vs. Mothra 92 record eventually when they drop that and everything. And then also I'll probably pick up the Singular Point Waxwork record eventually here. But other than that, I'm not going to be really picking up anything. So it's good for me, honestly, because there's other things down the pipeline that are coming out. Kit-wise, you know what I'm saying, Leslie, is coming. So I got to start saving up for some of that stuff and everything. So it's kind of nice. But yeah, we were just bombarded with so much stuff, and it's good. It's good to have all this stuff coming, but also it just sucks because we can't get it all, and we just got to pick and choose what we're going to get and stuff. So, but yeah, I enjoyed the Gigan Rex little short. I was gimping out when we were watching it live. I actually haven't seen the Showa one yet. I was actually hoping and waiting to watch it tomorrow on our stream and kind of get my live reaction for the first time watching it. I just kind of wanted to save it, so hopefully we'll be able to actually show it and they won't take down our stream for it. So we'll see, hopefully. But what?
Bruh.
I wanted to save it.
Bruh.
I wanted to save it.
You disappoint me.
I'm sorry. I wanted to save it. I really did. I just wanted to see it for the first time when we stream tomorrow. So
yeah, it's like we had such a drought. We had such a drought of things coming in during pandemic that now it's a little overwhelming. All the stuff we are getting, overwhelming, just overwhelming in choice.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Come on, man. Sorry.
You have chosen poorly. Eric, I agree. But I'm looking forward to seeing your first reaction tomorrow during our stream.
Yeah.
And knowing who's producing this show and he's a Gigan fan, you're lucky he won't cut your ass from this daggone
I
stream,
know. I'm sorry. Kyle, please. Mercy.
Now let's see. What
you have my mercy, son.
What I always do.
Thank you. Praise be Gigan.
Let's see. What I always do, I work. You know that. You know, I drive every single day. So, but it was nice every now and then when I would pull over, and just see all the stuff that was coming out and see just people just really being excited and just being overjoyed about everything that's coming out. So it was really nice to see that. When I got home, I saw the Toho, the Suitmation Gigan short on TV. I put it on the big smart TV because I wanted to see that bigger, And I'm watching that, and my wife Sandra was like, "Which Godzilla is that?" I was like, "That's the Final Wars." And she's like, "Is that the one you hate so much?" I'm like, "Yeah, that is the one I hate so much." But I have to say, that short was fire. It was just nice to see. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm gonna go into spoilers just a little bit. It was just nice. It was just nice to see Gigan and Godzilla fight in a city situation, and every time Gigan would swipe at Godzilla, and Godzilla would move out the way at the last minute, he would like cut a building in half and slice a tower. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, where was this Gigan back in 1972? Like, where were you at, bro? You know what I mean? But it was great to see that. I saw the Gigan Rex one. It was okay, I liked the destroyer cues from that video, but between the two, I like the Suitmation Gigan because I'm a huge Gigan fan. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the movie despite its issues and problems and blah blah blah. So it was nice to see both of those shorts, and of course the ultimate revelation that they were working on a new Godzilla film and it's coming out next year. So
yes,
in the past 24 hours, we got confirmation that we're not getting not one, but in the next 2 years, we're getting 2 brand new Godzilla films, one from Toho and the other one from Legendary, provided that comes out in time. But still, that was fun to see. And let me just say this before we move on to the next topic. All my Godzilla fans, don't mess this up. Let's just enjoy this moment, whether you love the MonsterVerse, whether you hate the MonsterVerse, or whatever. Let's just enjoy this moment. When the movie comes out next year, don't be doing what y'all did when Shin Godzilla came out, and y'all trying to manufacture this beef that if you like Shin Godzilla over Legendary, or if you like Legendary over Shin Godzilla, you're not a true Godzilla fan. Let's leave that crap at the door, okay? We got so many great things to be grateful for. Let's just shut up, relax, and just embrace and enjoy the moment.
Yes.
Nobody knew.
Great.
We had no idea that a new Godzilla from Toho was coming. There were no rumors about it. There was no speculation about it. There was no where there's smoke, there's fire type of situation. It just came right out of nowhere. And so many people are now being excited about it. But we can ruin it by saying, okay, what's going to happen? Like, is Godzilla going to fight another monster? Is this going to happen? Let's just wait and get the information as it comes to us, and let's just enjoy the ride. If I ask anything of my fellow Godzilla fans, let's do that. Let's just enjoy this time. Let's embrace this time. Let's come together and speculate on our own and all that good stuff. Let's just have a fun, good time. And speaking of the new movie, let me ask real quick before we go into the sea monster stuff. Everett, you're up first. Real quick, what do you want to see from this new movie? Like, if there's something that you want to see or something that has to happen from your perspective, what should happen involving this new movie from Godzilla come next year, courtesy of Toho?
Well, what I would like to see, most of all, is, again, I mean, I think it's wishful thinking at this point, but just because I am a Showa fan and stuff, I want to see practical stuff. I'm not a CGI guy at all. Not saying I hate CGI, like it's okay, but I do when it comes to monsters and giant monsters and Godzilla and stuff, especially from Japan, I prefer practical effects. I love again, talking about that short film yesterday with the suits and everything, not spoiling or anything, but some of the cinematography that they did with that, I thought was really cool. And I feel like it's easier to do that with like computer and digital stuff versus when you're actually like on a set and trying to get that shot and work the camera into the right spot. So I would like to see that. And I just want to see a really cool Godzilla. We've gotten some cool Godzilla designs over the last few years. Let's keep it going with something that's just really cool. Maybe some throwbacks, maybe have a Godzilla that has a little bit of elements of every era, maybe if you wanted to, there's some stuff that you can tell, oh, that's like Showa, and then there's some Heisei, and then there's some Millennium, and so on and so forth. So
yeah,
for sure.
What about you, Michael?
Toho has been doing such a fantastic job of these some of these new Godzilla designs. Specifically the Ride Godzilla, it looks like a mixture between Heisei and Legendary. What we saw yesterday with Gemstone looks like a mixture between Shin and the 1991, which Leslie, I figured you would be all over that.
Yeah. Just Gigan Rex. Gigan Rex, I'm sorry. Gigan Rex, I couldn't get into him. I'm sorry, his face. The face looked like half of it is gone. Like somebody threw acid in his face and it disappeared. Now I'm cool with him being like, cloning himself, kind of like what like Bolton does from Ultraman, where he can clone himself. Like I do like that, but the design of Gigan Rex, not really feeling. So
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But before I go any further, I feel like a big jerk because we got Mark Yang in the chat, and yesterday for Godzilla Day, Yesterday for Godzilla Day, I got a very, very special box day that I will be showing off tomorrow for our Monsters with Attitude stream. So thank you, Mark, for showing up. Thank you so much, man. But yeah, but I would feel like a jerk if I didn't mention Mark really quickly. But what I'm kind of hoping for the next Godzilla movie is just for it to be good and for people to really actually enjoy it, and for it to, because like you said, Leslie, like you were alluding to, we don't know how much more time we have with Godzilla because Godzilla notoriously takes a break every now and then. Yeah. So this fire hose of media that we've been getting since 2014, we don't know how long this is going to last. So we have to be, as fans, I'm not going to sit here and say you have to love whatever Toho puts out, because that would be really stupid of me to say that, but just try to appreciate it for what it is. So what I want to see is a unique twist on the story of Godzilla. And we're getting some information about what that Godzilla Zero or whatever that new film is going to be. We're getting some information about it, and it sounds like it's setting up something really interesting, and that's what I want. I want an interesting twist on the Godzilla story and a really cool design and some practicals, just like everybody else. Eric?
I am much simpler. I have no expectations whatsoever. I just want another Godzilla film, period. I don't care.
That's fair.
I honestly don't. I don't care. I mean, I love that we're going to get a Legendary. Love it. A lot of people, are going to hate on it. That's fine, because we have been getting a lot of Legendary, stuff and everything. And that's fine, because they kind of overdo it a little bit. I'm super excited for the Toho way more than the Legendary. But yeah, I have no expectations. I just can't wait for them to put it out. Like, they've been talking about this for several years now and everything about, revamping it, rebooting it, whatever, and kind of make their own little universe and everything like that. And, I think everybody's on board for it. I definitely am. But yeah, no expectations. I just want to see it. Hands down.
I'm with you on that, Eric. I have no expectations either. But I will say, and I mentioned this off air during our prep, I would like this to be a solo Godzilla film, because this is coming from somebody who loves 1985 or 84, but more so 85. But I've always been a fan of Godzilla versus humanity stories, whether it's the 54, 85, Shin, or whatever. And we've been getting a lot of Godzilla versus monsters stuff, whether it's Legendary or the anime trilogy or Singular Point. I think it's about time for us to get a solo Godzilla film where he is the focus. And according to what we know so far, what is speculated so far, because we don't really know anything, that this movie supposedly is going to be a period piece in the Showa period, which, hey, Michael, sign me up for that. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you. And supposedly it's going to be post World War II. And I think, and Michael mentioned this in our chat off air, that post World War II would mean that it would probably predate 1954. So if we get a movie where we get like somewhat like a better origin story of Godzilla that leads up to the events of 1954, no matter what it is, I'm super fine with that. But I would love for this movie just to be Godzilla by himself. It's going to be interesting to see what design that they're going to choose and all that good stuff. But again, that goes back to what I said earlier that let's just wait and just let's just I mean, we can speculate all we want, quite frankly. But if our speculation doesn't pay off to what Toho is going to bring, let's not be disappointed about that. Let's just enjoy it for what we're going to get, because we're finally getting something different other than the MonsterVerse. And I like what Eric said. I love the MonsterVerse, but I want something different. And now we're living in a time where we got the over-the-top, boisterous, really super goofy and fun MonsterVerse, but now we got the thought-provoking, deeper meaning to the character with Toho. So now we're getting the best of both worlds. So if you don't like the MonsterVerse, you got Toho. If you don't like Toho, you like the MonsterVerse. Either way, as Godzilla fans, we have nothing to complain under any circumstances, if you ask me. Nothing to complain. Okay?
So
nothing to complain. Now,
Leslie, I can smell your breath from here, man. You get a little too close to getting too close to the audience there.
Hey, I brushed my teeth. Thank you very much. But yeah, Godzilla Day, as you heard, was a great day for all of us. I'm sure it's a great day for all of you. So again, let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Now, let's go into the reason why we're here. The Favorite Sculptors Line, Rick exclusive, Godzilla vs. Ebirah set. And of course, we would not be having this set if it wasn't for the awesome movie known as Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. Just one quick question, rapid fire. Where does this film rank in your top 10 of favorite Godzilla films? I'm assuming that this film is in your top 10. I know Everett said it on his Kaiju to the Clock show yesterday, so I know about him. I know about Eric. Is Michael the wild card? I don't know what he's going to say. But around the room, where does this film rank in your top 10, or if it does rank in your top 10? Everett, go for
it. For me, it actually probably ranks around, I mean, I love all my top 10s. The order of them doesn't necessarily matter to me, but if I had to, it'd probably be around, I want to say the 8 spot, I think. Because I'm trying to remember, I've done my top 10 list before on my own channel, as well as I've been on the Monster Report with Nick Adams and gone through it there. And originally, I had to go back through my top 10s because originally it was a little different. And I used to have Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2 in my top 10s. And even though I love that movie, and I love it mainly because that's my favorite Mechagodzilla, but I was like, you know what? I like the Sea Monster better just because I'm a Showa kid at the end of the day. That's what I grew up with. And the Sea Monster, I had this VHS, and I watched the heck out of it when I was younger. And it's just a movie that I love. I enjoy it. I think it's highly, underrated. A lot of people don't really appreciate it for what it is. There's a lot of fun facts about the movie itself. And so I'd probably put it around the 8 spot. Michael?
I'm going to go lucky number 7. This movie did not used to be in my top 10, and a lot like you, Everett. My top 10 fluctuates; it ebbs and flows as my tastes change, or as new stuff comes out, and then I get tired of the old stuff, or I get tired of some films, because there are certain films that you can watch to the point where you just. It's blasphemy to say you get bored with a Godzilla film. I know, guys. But sometimes you get a little bored. But in terms,
excuse me. I'm sorry. I sneezed. Space Godzilla.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, Leslie.
Hey, I'll admit it. Space Godzilla's in my top 10. I don't know if nobody knows that.
I mean,
he's your own, man.
I'll give I'll say that Space Godzilla is in my top 30. Top 30, we'll say that. I'm not gonna tell you where it's in the top 30, but it's in the top 30. But
that's not saying much, though.
Oh yeah,
I know, because that's not saying much about the film. That's the point. But to reel myself back in, Sea Monster is just incredibly rewatchable. The acting is fantastic. It's a different. I was watching it earlier today, getting ready for this conversation, and the world feels so big in Sea Monster. and it didn't dawn on me how big that world felt until I was watching it again today, because they go from the mainland to the island to another island with Mothra, and that world in Sea Monster just feels so big. Whereas in a lot of Godzilla films, we're kind of just contained into one like cityscape area. So I love how big the world feels in Godzilla versus the Sea Monster. It lends itself to some really interesting visuals. It's beautiful set pieces with the island backdrop and the water, and Ebirah, as underrated as I think Ebirah is sometimes, not the movie, but the character Ebirah is sometimes is. It's a really beautiful piece of tokusatsu. And say what you want about the Godzilla suit itself, it had seen better days, but I still love that suit.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Where's it rank, Eric?
So I'm gonna go higher, and I think I haven't ranked my movies in a long time, but if I had to, I think it's like top 5. It's probably at number 5 for me. As the years go on, I just love this movie more and more as I watch it. I really do. And I've talked about it a lot about this is the one movie that's fully complete for me with the kaiju action and the human aspect. I've said this before, like I can just watch this film for just the human story alone, and the bonus stuff is just from the kaiju action. Like I just love how it's written, how it looks. The story is very interesting. Obviously, we have several well-known actors and actresses in the movie that just makes it amazing. But yeah, it just keeps climbing on my list. It really does, and I just can't stop watching it. I can just put it on and just forget, and it's just a cool, fun movie. It's got great a soundtrack to it and everything. I love that it's the island location and stuff, something very different. Ebirah is very underrated. He's not the most dangerous kaiju and stuff like that. We all kind of know that, but he's very unique. That in a sense that Godzilla's never really fought something like this before, and it just gives it a little bit of I don't know, kind of say just uniqueness. So
yeah, it's agreeable.
Now before,
it's a very colorful film at the end of the day. It's a very colorful film. I like to think of it this way too, as Ebirah really kicked off that because that was at a time to where it was like, okay, what's Godzilla going to fight this time? Okay. Like he's fighting just generic giant creatures at this point. Like it wasn't space monsters. It wasn't anything else. It was giant lobster. And then next you had the giant bugs, spider, Kamacuras, Kumonga. You just had those generic giant, creatures, and Ebirah kind of kicked that off a little bit. You could say Mothra because Mothra's a giant moth, but you did have that period to where it was like you had 66 and 67 that were just giant normal Earth animals, basically.
Before I go my answer, let me give you a shout out to CJ Velasquez, Lee Qual Studios, David Dopko's in the chat. What's up, David? Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all so much. 31 people. Wow. Y'all doing great. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let's see. This film, I have always said, you can go back and pull up clips of on my channel on Collect All Monsters. I have always spoken highly of this film. It has always been in my top 10. Always. Matter of fact, I'll tell you my top 10 right now as it goes. Number 10 is King Kong versus Godzilla. Number 9 is GMK. I'm sorry, babe. I'm really sorry. Don't put me on the couch tonight, okay?
Divorced.
Oh, boy.
That's
Number 8 is Monster Zero. I'm sorry, Kyle. Don't cut me from my own stream. Number 7 is Biollante. Number 6 is Sea Monster. Number 5 is 1974 is Mechagodzilla. Number 4 is Ghidra 3-headed Monster. Number 3 is 91. Number 2 is Godzilla vs. Gigan. And of course, we all know what number 1 is. Mothra versus Godzilla. So for this film to be in my top 10, and has always been in my top 10, I find this film, like what Everett said earlier, I find this movie really underrated, almost to the point that it's downright criminal. And I get it. When you read the synopsis of this film on paper, after Godzilla just fought King Kong, he went to outer space to fight an evil three-headed space dragon and King Ghidorah. And the next film, if you read it on paper, Godzilla fights a giant lobster/shrimp and a condor on an island. On paper, it doesn't sound too exciting, but quite the contrary. This film is so much fun. It is so much fun. I think it does get a bad rap. I really do. This film is kind of like, to me, Raise Again, Mickey Gear's, that it's those films that are there, but they don't get the, quite the attention that, and I think that they should deserve. And at the end of the day, this film, in my opinion, is better than it had every right to be, quite frankly. You know what I'm saying? Ebirah, like what Eric just said, may not be a King Ghidorah or Mechagodzilla or even a Hedra or a Gigan, right? But for the story and for the movie, this is really, really cool. And again, I so love this movie. And again, to have a figure representation of it from an iconic moment from the movie really drives this point home why, in my opinion, Sea Monster is highly underrated, is loads of fun, and I really highly endorse it. Yes, I do. Now, before we go into the figure itself, let me do one small little exercise. And I talked about this earlier in our chat. And, I normally ask, just to ruffle some feathers, just to get y'all to sweat, whatever. This may be an unpopular opinion, but fans to say, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, thank God. Oh, my God. Yeah. PTSD right now.
Eric, calm down. Put your heart back in your chest. We're good. But we got a variation of it. We got a variation of it. Now, we all love this film. But yet, there are some popular Godzilla film franchise that I'm sure that some of us don't really get the hype behind. But yet, we love Sea Monster over that popular film. So you got to basically, you have to say this sentence like this. If you don't mind, I'll go first just to set the tone. Okay?
Oh, God.
Lord, fan base, please don't hate me. I'm being honest. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to say like this, Everett, Michael, and Eric. Give me Godzilla versus the Sea Monster over Godzilla versus Destroyer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you put both of them in front of me, Destroyer and Sea Monster, I'm popping in Sea Monster. To all you Destroyer fans out there, I get it. It's a powerful, emotional film. But at the end of the day, I want entertainment out of my Godzilla films, and I'm more entertained with Sea Monster. So Everett, give me Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster over. You gotta say it like that.
Guys, give me Godzilla versus the Sea Monster over. I just gotta say Final Wars, just to get rip off that Band-Aid. I think we could say that about a lot of Godzilla films, in all honesty, though. But
that's a low-bearing fruit. You gotta pick a higher popular film. This gotta be one.
A higher popular film. Okay, I'll pick one. I'll pick one that's not even in my top 10s. But it was my first Godzilla film that I grew up with. It was the very first one I watched. Give me Godzilla versus the Sea Monster over the original 54.
Ooh.
I'll go bold. I love the 54 film. Don't get me wrong. I do love the 54 film. Don't get me wrong. I do. But it's not in my top 10s. It's my very first Godzilla film. It's the one I grew up with. My dad can vouch for me that I watched it 3 times a day as I was growing up. But you know what? Okay. Give me Godzilla versus the Sea Monster over the original.
Okay.
Michael, you're next.
Michael.
Come on, Michael.
Oh, God.
Well, Everett stole my answer.
So
I'm gonna get. I thought I was gonna be the controversial one. So my job is easy now. Give me Godzilla versus the Sea Monster 1,000 times over Shin. Over Shin Godzilla.
Ooh, boy. How come there's silence every time somebody says something? Why is it like
we are processing right now?
Yeah,
I think
we're processing everybody's answers.
I will marathon Godzilla versus the Sea Monster for a week straight before I will watch Shin. Well, more than 30 minutes of Shin.
Eric, you
Okay.
can't skate around it. You're up next. Do it.
I will watch Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster over Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster.
Get this man out of here. Get this man out of here.
Drop him. Seriously. Get him out. Get him out of here. Oh my God.
I was the
that
one
was
that
awesome.
thought was going to get the boot, in all honesty.
Did I do bad?
You know what? This is so cool because, again, you're being honest. And, you know, again, there's no law that says, as a Godzilla fan, you have to love every single thing about Godzilla, nor there's not a law that says, as Godzilla fans, we have to feel about every single thing about Godzilla the exact same way. So, again, this is from our perspective. Doesn't make us less of a Godzilla fan. We just like what we like. And as you can tell, despite this film, again, having somewhat of a mixed bag when it comes to the fandom, we love it and we highly endorse it. You know what I'm saying? So that was fun. That was really, really, really fun.
I mean, I prefer the time travel shenanigans of Godzilla versus King Ghidorah over the political satire of Shin Godzilla. I mean, I can appreciate Shin for what it is, and it's a gorgeous film, but you know, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
right. But again, we love this film, and now let's talk about the reason why we are here. Oh my God, the Favorite Sculptors Line, Godzilla vs. Ebirah 1966 set, Rick exclusive set. Trying to just give you a small backstory. We first saw this thing at Winter Wonder Festival earlier this year in February. I don't think it's a stretch to say that this thing stole the show for a lot of people. This was the one thing coming out of that show, maybe with the Monster vs. King Ghidorah, you know, whatever. But I would say this is a step above that. And it came up for pre-order, I want to say, in April. It was due to arrive in August, but due to shipping delays and, you know, stuff like that, and I think a typhoon hit Japan in September, we finally got our hands on this in mid-October 2022. And the response to this thing has been so overwhelmingly positive. Like, there were people posting like their tracking numbers on Facebook. You see where it is? It's coming to, you know. I have not seen that with a figure release in a very, 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 very long time. So the fact that this piece has done that from a film, quite arguably, like I said, is not the most talked about or at least heavily favored in the franchise, I think says a lot. It really says a lot. So in your own words, basically tell me why you love this set. Everett, go first.
I love this set just because it's very unique. It's such a unique piece. You know, especially just the way that it all it's put together and everything. Again, it's very colorful, like I said, like the film. Ebirah has just a very nice bright red. It pops, it stands out. It is one of those pieces, as you guys can see behind me, as you can see behind all of us, we all have that room that has conversation starters. This is definitely one that as soon as you walk in the room, it's like, this is different than it just being a standalone single figure. This is just like, it's a dynamic pose to, you know, basically kind of publicity picture, basically is what it was. Because Godzilla flipped him in the film, but is it exact? No. But it is taken from, you know, more or less those publicity pictures for the film that they did, you know, the ones where Godzilla is just bench pressing Ebirah over his shoulders, you know, tossing him, whatever. And it's just, it's just really cool. You know, it just captures that moment in the film that, you know, you're like, oh man, he just judo flipped this giant lobster over his head.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what about you?
I mean, man, when we first saw this set get previewed, I think it was the last Wonderfest, I believe. I went nuts for it because we don't see stuff like this very often. It's always just static pose, ship gray with bone white dorsal plates. That's what we get. And there's nothing wrong with that. I enjoy all my ship gray and bone white dorsal plates on my shelf, but there's just something about this set. It's dynamic. It captures a unique moment in Godzilla's history. And it's just beautifully sculpted. Like I find every time I walk into my space here when I log in for work every morning, I find something else to love about this figure. Where my desk is positioned in the room and where this figure sits normally, I can see it at just the perfect angle. And to me, this looks exactly like 1966. Well, this is 1966 before it got water damaged. We'll say that. This is 1966 before it got water damaged. And in a way, you can see a couple of different Godzillas in this set as well. I see 1964B from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. I see 1966. I see 1965 from Monster Zero. There's just something, every time I look at this figure, there's just something to love about it. And my girlfriend, Julie, came over the other day, and she came into the office while I was working, and she looks at this set and she says, damn, that thing's pretty. And she's really like, she likes Godzilla. Her and I will watch Godzilla movies together, and she grew up with Godzilla, but she appreciated this thing. And that usually doesn't happen because collecting is my thing. Like this, like she appreciate, like a person that is not normally into this type of thing appreciated this thing for the work of art that it is. And the reason why it's a work of art is because it's such a unique piece. And I really, really hope that X Plus continues to do things like this instead of static pose, ship gray, and bone white.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you. This piece, it really tells me that it tells me that I've been missing out on a lot of great kits that I never even knew existed. I mean, I'm just getting into kit collecting and stuff like that, and I'm blown away with what they've already brought, and it's been going on for years and years, and we're just kind of scratching the surface of this stuff because now X Plus is kind of dipping into the kits, re-releasing them as vinyls and stuff like that, but like now it just shows that it's just endless. It really is, because there's so many kits that they could reproduce and bring out in their line that the possibilities are endless. It really are. And there's some really gorgeous kits that haven't been released as vinyl and stuff like that, or it's just hard to get, and it just says that, there's kaiju and characters that we haven't even got from X Plus that maybe they might be able to tackle now, because they don't have to start from scratch. They could just recast a kit and release it that way, and you're still going to get the same crispness and just awesomeness as what they would do if it was just an original sculpt, and it's just, this thing is so dynamic that it literally, you'll stop by just coming in your room and just look at it like, that's nice. Like, that is just like, you just pause for a second and you're like, God dang, that thing is beautiful. It really is. And it's from like Everett said, it's from promo pictures and stuff like that. Well, it was never technically in the film, but it is iconic because they've used this kind of picture for promoting the movie, and it's so great that they use this as their release and stuff like that. It's amazing. Like, I can just look at this thing all the time and just keep gushing over it because it is damn near perfect. Leslie? And
I agree everything that all y'all have said. This thing has over this thing. I was so anticipating this thing when I first laid eyes on it back at Wonderfest, and this has been, as far as S Plus is concerned, this has been my most anticipated figure release of the year, and I have to say that it has over exceeded what I expected. The antenna made me cuss a few times. I ain't gonna lie about that. Like, it got to the point where I was like, does he really need the antenna? But he looks great with them.
That's what glue's for, man. That's what glue's for.
Yeah, almost either glue or a staple gun. But I was like Ebirah, like, come on now.
You're gonna get it.
But yeah, but again, as I said in my video of it, this thing does kind of happen in the film. But again, remember if you remember the film, he does flip Ebirah, but he flips Ebirah by this claw, not that one. But so it does happen. So it is semi-accurate, you know. But either way, you know, because the original kit, to my knowledge, it didn't come with this base, which I think the base is cool. And I know Eric and Michael, you like it, but you wish that it could have been more tropical water-esque with the base, you know, and that's fine. But to me, I mean, I like it because again, the water is dark, and the first time we see Godzilla do this moment is at night. So, but again, if you want to change that, but I think that, you know, between the sculpt of Ebirah, his dynamic pose of Ebirah, Godzilla holding him up there, the base and the nameplate, it's just like, if you miss out on getting this thing, shame on you. And if you're able to find it on eBay before it gets really up there in price, Everett, Michael, Eric, we highly recommend it. We highly endorse it. When this stream is over in a few minutes, go on eBay, go on Mandarake, go on Buyee, get you this set. If not, you will regret it later. Trust me on that. You will regret it. So this thing is amazing from top to bottom, and it is so awesome. Which leads to, you know, we got two more topics, at least two more questions. Kind of super fast here, but basically, in your opinion, is this figure of the year from X Plus? Is this figure of the year?
Yes.
Michael, if it's not figure of the year, what you gonna do?
I'm gonna question people's sanity. Is what I'm going to do. I will not call. I will not call for.
I agree.
I will not call for violence. I will not call for people berating people in the comments or anything. But I really have to question your sanity if you don't pick this thing for figure of the year. Seriously, because this thing is gorgeous. Like this is. Ooh. This is really, I feel like this is like super hyperbolic to say, but I feel like this is the reason why we collect X Plus. Like this thing.
Yeah, this is what we're going for.
This is what we want. We want more of this, like we said.
Eric, figure of the year, is it? I don't know why the hell I'm asking you this question. I already know the answer, but go ahead and answer anyway.
This is a hell yeah! Like, without doubt, like you said, this is my most anticipated figure of the year, hands down. Nothing else even touches it. And yeah, if you're a real collector and you're a Showa lover, if you don't get this, I have to take your Showa card because you're not.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I thought
I can agree with that. I agree with that.
Thank you, Everett.
Woo.
Well, I do agree that this probably will win figure of the year. If not, he would get the most popular vote. Even though I have been vocal, and I'm going to be vocal about it here, that yes, it is awesome. It is amazing. But I do believe, this is just my opinion, I do believe that the top three in the running will be Godzilla the Ride and the upcoming King Ghidorah if it comes out in time. And honestly, I want King Ghidorah to come out because I want this thing to win and to beat King Ghidorah, not because it didn't come out in this year. I want it for King Ghidorah to come out, people to receive it, people to vote, and this thing still wins. That way it wins fair and square. But you ain't got to worry about that as far as like the votes, because normally I'm of the voting, but I don't feel like doing the daycare this year. So I handed off the reins to the awesome people, awesome folks at Monster with Attitude. You know, you got two of them right down here, Michael and Cody, the whole crew. They're going to be doing the X Plus figure of the year voting. I think Adrian said probably early next year, once everything is out, once everything is tallied, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to do a live show on their channel detailing the results of figure of the year. And in my opinion, I think you're looking at the winner right here. So again, go to the Monster with Attitude show on a YouTube channel and get all information about when that show is going to be and blah, blah, blah. As a matter of fact, go and subscribe to Monster with Attitude right now. Go subscribe to GodzillaFanFreaks right now, because tomorrow night, Monster with Attitude, they're going to be talking about everything that happened, or at least the stuff that appealed to them mostly on Godzilla Day yesterday. So please check out that tomorrow night. But again, back to the figure. I think this will win figure of the year. I mean, how can it not? Because it's dynamic, it is awesome, and again, the overwhelming feedback and positivity that I see a lot of people generate as a result of this thing finally being out. I mean, that alone makes it worthy of figure of the year. Now, one more thing before we get up out of here. Now, this is an awesome piece from the Favorite Sculptors line. We think about other pieces in the Favorite Sculptors line. You know, you have the gigantic 54, you have Descador, you have the GMK Ebirah Mothra, you have the Favorite Sculptors line Varan, Mogera. You know, I think this sits at the top of the list. Maybe with the gigantic 54. But if you were to pick the next kit to make it into the Favorite Sculptors line, who would it be? Everett, you're up first. Or what would it be?
I got a really heavy hitter for that one, and it is from Frankenstein Conquers the World. I want to see the Frankenstein versus Baragon, especially if you want to keep that, you know, the Godzilla versus the sea monster is, you know, they're holding on to one another, you know, vice versa. This kind of fits that description to where it's like you could have Baragon's horn be molded to Frankenstein's hand, and that could plug into his head, and then there could be like a little peg, or the arm could just rest on top of Baragon's arm like so. And then you just have the peg holes in the base, and then there you have the nameplate. It's a perfect contender, and I have to give a shout out to my buddy Leaf Claw Studios, who should still be in the chat, I believe. Yosh, me and him are big Baragon fans. We both love this film, and this is something that we would love to see. We love this movie. We love Baragon. And again, this keeps that same feel that the Godzilla versus Ebirah set does.
Hey, anything Frankenstein, man, bring it out.
Oh, yeah.
We need more of it anyways.
I might be one of the few weirdos that appreciates the 1955 suit. And we've not had the best track record of 1955s in X Plus. We have the 25 centimeter. It's that one's okay, but it's really rare now. We have a couple of Defo reels that look really nice. But for my wish list, I would like to see the 48 centimeter Kaiju Freaks 1955. That's the X Plus version right there, that ugly little bastard. But the next one over, or the next the Kaiju Freaks slide, this is not the Kaiju Freaks, this is X Plus.
You sent the wrong photo, Michael.
No,
that's it. That's it.
There he is. Sorry about that, Kyle. I sent Kyle a photo of the X Plus the one because I wanted to show that ugly version of the 1955 and then compare it to this beautiful 48 centimeter Kaiju Freaks version of the 1955 that I think would be perfect for the gigantic scale, for a gigantic scale FSL.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yes.
All right, Eric, what's your surprise, buddy?
All right, so I picked one that is not from the Godzilla franchise. It's one that we haven't gotten any representation from yet from X Plus, only in basically kit form and Bandai. Pretty unique. I think it's a fan favorite. It's one of the better representations of him. It's from Goro and Kyle.
Okay.
Grand Ghidorah.
Wow.
From Birth of Mothra 3.
Yes.
So this thing is 60 centimeters long and 60 centimeters wide.
Wow. Jeez.
Oh, boy.
Holy crap.
I would love for this thing to come out next because I love Grand King Ghidorah. He's such a cool Ghidorah version of him and stuff, and it's just we need something more of just a Bandai of this guy. We need something just real accurate and real looking. So this is
great choice.
This is my choice.
That's a beautiful choice. That you actually you redeemed yourself.
I try. And I wanted to stick with the company that's worked with X Plus so far. This made this really hard just to pick one because there's so many good ones to choose from. But overall, I just think this one just would have a presence on its own.
Oh yeah, like where would you put it?
Right.
You'll find a way.
Yeah.
Trust me, you find a way. You know what,
Leslie? Yeah.
I might as well go in and keep the thing going with our favorite three-headed space dragon.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Come here, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Come here. Here we go. I think.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Good.
Yeah, buddy.
Hold on. There you go. They should do a resin chef Mecha King Ghidorah, because that's what this thing is. Now I understand Mecha King Ghidorah is like a sore spot for a lot of people. They teased it several years ago, and nothing has come about it just yet. From what I understand, they're trying to get the sculpt. They're trying to get the sculpt right, because this figure, or at least Mecha King Ghidorah, is going to be super delicate than the regular version of King Ghidorah. So I don't know if the production has stalled on trying to do a brand new sculpt of him. But again, this is from Resin Chef. So they should take the Resin Chef Mecha King Ghidorah and put it in the Favorite Sculptors line. Kind of like the upcoming Flying Hedra, because the Flying Hedra was taken from a Resin Chef sculpt. So in my opinion, the one after Hedra should be a Mecha King Ghidorah from Resin Chef. This thing is awesome. I'm afraid if I even change my mind or look at it wrong, it's going to fall apart. But it is so well worth it. You know what I mean? And he scales well with the Sakai 91, quite frankly. So that would be my pick, the Resin Chef Mecha King Ghidorah. But nice. To put a bow on this stream, I think I speak for Everett and Michael and Eric when I say that this set is awesome. We are so glad it's finally here. Again, it has surpassed all our expectations. It has made us happy beyond belief. And to see that happiness carry over into the fandom, even for people who are not getting it or who are slapping themselves in the foot because they didn't get it, the amount of positivity that this big release has generated is awesome. I think when you look back on the year 2022, I think this will be like the biggest thing, at least one of the biggest things. Yeah. And again, Monster Attitude come January, they're going to handle the X Plus Figure of the Year polling. So if you want this thing to win Figure of the Year, check with Monster Attitude, make your vote count, make your voices be heard. And again, I can
those ballots, baby.
Yeah, I can see those things. I can see this thing winning overall Figure of the Year. And that's pretty much going to do it with this show. Again, want to be just in and out with this presentation. Again, we love this thing. We so love this thing.
I had to stop and join in just for a second, because you guys all presented your potentials for Favorite Sculptors Line, and I'm just shocked.
You got one?
Shocked that nobody chose the Honey Bones 1954 Godzilla to be included as like a Favorite Sculptors Line. Gigantic.
Wow.
Because, dude, would this not this is exactly what, like, when sick. G was telling me that the Gigantic series is supposed to evoke power and, like, you know, dangerous kaiju action. This sculpt says it all to me. So anyway, this is my pick for my Favorite Sculptors Line release that will never probably happen.
Hey,
please give me Honey Bones.
You know what? Now that you're here, Kyle, you know, we want to know what you think about the Ebirah set. Like, what's your overall thoughts on this set?
Oh, dude, I think the Ebirah set looks phenomenal. I did not pick it up myself. Once again, really not buying a lot of stuff right now because of my impending transition to Japan. But basically, the episode where we covered that, we were watching what was coming out at that Wonder Festival, which I think it was a Wonder Festival. And it was just like, oh, here's the picture of the entire. We usually get like the picture of the whole booth for X Plus, and then like smaller pictures of like, or zoomed in pictures of other stuff. And I was completely blown away when they first showed that thing. I was like, that is incredible. How much is that going to be? That's going to be huge. But it looks like they knocked it out of the park with this particular release.
Yeah, it is. Again, it is amazing, and it's like what everybody has been saying. It's like when I come into my collection room, again, I'm immediately drawn to this thing, and it's just I just can't believe it's finally here after all this time. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing broken. There's nothing that's like an imperfection. I can just, again, this is flawless, and this is like a sign of things to come where we're going to get monster versus monster combination sculpts in the Favorite Sculptors line, or just kits in general.
Yep.
Sign me up for that, because I think we got some great things in store. And considering everything that was announced yesterday and the potential of more stuff coming out, I think we are in store. We got some great things in store for us as Godzilla fans. Again, as I said earlier, let's just sit back, embrace it, and enjoy it, because it is our time. Our time as Godzilla fans. It is our time. Let's just have a good time and have fun. So I want to thank Everett from... Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just before we close, I just wanted to show off one thing. So, like you saw in my review, I wasn't completely taken with the water, and so I wanted to change it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And since he's actually in the chat, Mark Sang Yang, I sent just the base out to him to get it touched up and redone. I think he knocked it out of the park. It makes this thing even better than it was, which I didn't think was even possible. And I've only shown it to like 2 people, and one of them's he's already here. But I wanted to show everybody, just kind of show it off what he actually did and what it looks like. So I'll try to tilt him up here.
Oh, I see it.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
So he made the more tropical look for me that I wanted, and it really brightens up Godzilla and the whole thing all together. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I didn't think this thing could get any better, and he just knocked it out of the park. And you can really tell the water and the waves and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm so happy that he did this, and he just did an amazing job, of course. And yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to show this off because I waited for this stream just to show you guys. So
yeah,
but that's awesome.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful.
That is beautiful. That is awesome. And again, it's if you don't have it and you want it, it's online right now. Go get it.
Yeah,
go get it. Don't waste time. Don't get it now, but get it right now. You will enjoy it. And again, once you get it, you will get arguably overall the potential figure of the year. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to Everett from GodzillaFanFreaks. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, Michael, Kaiju Ramen, Monster with Attitude, Eric, Monster with Attitude, British Kaiju Reviews. Thank y'all so much for being here. Now, before we get up out of here, do y'all have something y'all want to plug on your respective channels? What do you have upcoming on your respective platforms? Everett, go first.
What I got coming up for GodzillaFanFreaks is I've actually been doing some Masters of the Universe figures and reviews and stuff as of recently, but now I am transitioning back over into Kaiju stuff. I just kind of wanted to get everything I wanted to review from Motu and out of the way and put out on the channel. But next up, it's going to be playing some catch up. I know you guys have your guys' reviews out on this beautiful set. I'm going to be doing my review sometime soon. I have to review the gigantic Mechagodzilla for X Plus. That's going to be coming up. Hopefully Hedra shows up here in the next few weeks, the flying form, because I had that pre-ordered. Yep. So I'll have a review on that. I have a review on the SH Monster Arts Hedra that I got to do. A lot of Smog Monster stuff, but that's okay. I'm a big Hedra fan. I love Hedra. So yeah, that's just some of the stuff that's coming on my channel. A lot of X Plus stuff and some Monster Arts, and like I said, hopefully eventually, a lot of Bandais in the future, because there's a lot of Bandais available for pre-order right now. So yeah, Michael.
Like Leslie already said, Kaiju Ramen Magazine, Kaiju Ramen Media.com is where you're going to find everything we're involved in. You're going to find all the podcasts we're involved in, Henshin Men, the Power Trip. That's mine and my co-host Nathan's Power Rangers podcast, where we talk about the franchise. And then we're going to be doing a season 2 where we go back and we talk about Super Sentai. So that's going to be super fun. So that's kaiju adjacent. But I recently joined the wonderful team over at Monsters with Attitude, my friend Eric here, and we will be doing an epic stream tomorrow. We're going to be starting an hour early. Do we have a time for that, Eric? I can't remember.
6 p.m. Central. So whatever it is for the others.
So 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's going to be an epic stream. We're just going to be talking about all the events of Godzilla Day, talk about what we expected, what we loved, what we hated, and then just kind of hang out with each other and really celebrate the King of the Monsters. So, Eric, what do you got?
I should be doing another review this weekend. Haven't decided what I want to do. It might be another Sofubi, might be my new Defo reels that kind of came in and stuff like that. My boy finally came in, so I'm pretty anxious to unbox him and show him off. Oh no. No. Just no. No.
Geiken?
And then like Michael said, we are doing our stream tomorrow, so come hang out there. And then like Leslie said, in January we are doing the figure of the year. So please, if you guys want to vote, please vote on the Kaiju Collectors Facebook group. That's where we're gonna do all the categories and stuff like that. All it just takes is a click. Let's get a lot of votes so we can really know who is and who wins the figure of the year for each category or overall, however we're gonna do it. We'll hash that out and everything. But yeah, it should be fun. So yeah, just stay on the lookout for more unboxing and reviews from me and more shows from the Monster of the Attitude crew.
Awesome. Now for me, I collect all monsters. Our next episode is going down 2 weeks from tomorrow, which will be the 19th. And we got some special planned. I'm sure we'll cover the stuff on the Godzilla Day. But we actually are doing a show where I believe it's called Godzilla Era Wars. And in response to Godzilla Day, each host has a specific era, and our favorite Godzilla collectible of himself from each era. Mild spoiler: David chose the Showa, Christine chose the Heisei, Kyle chose the Millennium, John chose the Reiwa, and I chose the Multiverse. So we're going to show our favorite collectibles of Godzilla himself from each of the eras on that show, and it's going to be a fun show. As far as like in the future, live streams and stuff and videos I got planned on Collect All Monsters. Michael, I know you're a huge King Ghidorah fan, and since King Ghidorah, I got maybe 9 King Ghidorahs in this room. I want to do the King Ghidorah discussion where we talk about the various collectibles and appearances of King Ghidorah. If you're down with that,
sir. Yes, sir.
You two tall gentlemen up there. Yeah, both of y'all tall because I've been around both of y'all. Yes. We still are going to do the Terror of Mechagodzilla film and collectible discussion. And I am wondering, and I'm so looking forward, we ain't got to go into it right now because we're wrapping up, but I want to see, because I know that Everett is a huge Titanosaurus fan.
Yes.
Eric is a Titanosaurus fan, so we need to see which one of y'all is the biggest Titanosaurus.
Challenge accepted, son. Let's go.
It's gonna be a friendly competition. I'm gonna have some questions. So let's just see, because again, when I got both of y'all on this show and it hit me, I was like, wait a minute. Or when I was planning the Terror Mechagodzilla discussion, I wanted you both up there. I was like, wait a minute. Eric's favorite monster besides Godzilla is Titanosaurus. Everett's favorite monster besides Godzilla is Titanosaurus. I was like, which one loves Titanosaurus more? We're going to get all into all of that on that show. I can't wait for that. No. I can't wait for that. I know I love Titanosaurus, but it pales in comparison to you two awesome gentlemen up there, right? Yeah, over there, right there. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be me, it'll be Everett, it'll be Eric, it'll be Marcellus Winters, and of course John Ruffin, because we all love Terror of Mechagodzilla. Yes. When I get that show up and running, more likely, I know it's kind of a ways off because I got some stuff planned in December and January. More likely, let's put it out into the internet right now, in the world now. Let's do it next year in March, when the film turns 48 years old. Are y'all cool with that? Okay, y'all cool with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll make it happen. I'll get with your schedule so we can make it happen. Because again, I want Everett, I want Eric, I want Marcellus, I want John. We're all going to get together and talk about that awesome film, Terror Mechagodzilla. But in the meantime, again, thank you to Everett. Thank you to Michael. Thank you to Eric. Check out Kaiju Chill O'Clock on Everett's channel pretty much every single week. It's an awesome experience. It's fun. It's interactive. It's like those 2 hours go by just like that. It is really, really, really fun. I can't promote or highly advocate for that show enough. Of course, Monster with Attitude, you know, the various topics that they do, they tackle current events, they tackle old topics, Showa, Heisei Millennium, anything about Godzilla or Tokusatsu. I highly recommend these awesome gentlemen. And between all of our platforms, we'll keep you entertained for the foreseeable future. But the bottom line, the theme of this video or this stream, get this set. Get it. You will not be disappointed with arguably the X Plus figure of the year 2022. And that's going to be it with this stream. Now, I'm going to do what Kyle normally does at the end of every single episode of He's got that deep, awesome voice. I'm gonna try and channel my inner Kyle. I don't have the epic beard as him, but I'm gonna try and mimic what he says gloriously and awesomely every single episode. All right, again, thank you to Everett, thank you to Eric, thank you to Mike, to everybody in the chat that took the time to be here. We really do appreciate it. And we got more content, more videos to come on Collect All Monsters, on Monster with Attitude, and especially on Godzilla Fan Freaks. Yes. Now, our planet may be doomed, our Earth devastated, the monsters are in revolt, and civilization is in chaos. We must unite and collect
all monsters.
Have a good night.
Thank you, guys.